Okay. We should be live. Let me quickly share the stream on Discord. Right. There we go. Trade a gauge. Yo, Latham. Let's go. Let's go indeed. Alright. We like to start off with the Nasdaq. I already made a video this morning about the Nasdaq. So I'm just gonna quickly go over what happened during the rest of the day, because it's a couple of hours in the future. Let's see if some people want to join in from the Discord, so let's wait a minute and then we will start with Nasdaq. Okay, we're just gonna start and look at what happened throughout the day. I pointed some zones out this morning. Let me get rid of this and this. So I pointed out this 4 hour. If you wanted to close below this 1 hour, it could mean we can trade towards the 4 hour to then trade up again. Well, we didn't need it. We closed perfectly within this gap 2 times, and from there we started coming up again, taking out liquidity from the highs. Your first target, technical target of your buy model right here was the Asia high, but of course, and probably what is happening right now, you can just continue this move towards other liquidity or maybe even all-time highs. Because locally, we had a bit of a struggle point after taking out some trend liquidity and the London high. And in this stronger point, we created 3 50-minute fair value gaps, so a pretty strong support zone right here. Because if you wanted to be bearish, you're gonna use this inverse and this bearish fair value gap to trade lower. You don't do that, you inverse it, and right here we held this zone as support for a long time, and that caused us to break this 1 hour fair value gap. There were some signs that maybe we wanted to come down and at least take the low of this range we created right here. But we never got any confirmations, held this 50-minute fair value gap, and from there broke above our 1 hour fair value gap that was holding us down. This fair value gap also brought you towards this low. So if you were really bearish with the local picture and holding this 1 hour, then we would have closed within it, came down and got some local confirmations. But you never got that, and we just continued our up move and target the Asia high for our market maker buy model. We have some pre-New York aggression right now, pumping up. Already close to this liquidity target. Any plays today, Smith? No, Trader Cage. We missed the play this morning at 10 AM. Busy with making videos and stuff instead of looking at the markets, but yeah, this was absolutely beautiful. I talked about this bottom as well. We held this 1 hour for value gap perfectly. Nice swing low. After that you want to look for upside in your buy model to target Asia high. Then right here, locally, you had a break towards the upside, indicating if we're gonna leave open our lows, we can make higher lows and higher highs. Trader gauge, you know as much as I do, this thing we did here locally, after your break, you're gonna get a lot of buyers that are gonna start buying right here. Also, when locally you're gonna trade above a order block like this, and you're gonna inverse all your fair value gaps, what the ICT/retail traders on NQ like to trade, you're gonna get in a lot of buyers. But what do the market makers want to do? Fill up their last positions right here to take out those early buyers and continue your up move. So that should have been a play right here, but unfortunately not sharp enough on the markets. And yeah, throughout the day, not really any other plays to be taken. I also was at the gym, headed to the barber shop, keep it fresh. And right now we're back at the chart, so maybe New York AM is gonna give us a setup, or PM, whatever. I want the entry and the stop loss for display. Okay, let's zoom in. Right here, you get in the buyers. You don't trade above the high, so you have to be patient. What do we do? Take out the buyers. Also, some volume confluences. Oh no, I'm wrong. That is over here. Well, take out the early buyers, then you have this really nice fair value gap. This would be my first order. This should have brought you towards new lows. You can see you try to test it and bring towards new lows. It fails. So when you inverse this, you can put in an order right here with a stop loss. This would have been a front run for me. Oh, pretty early target right here. But let's zoom out. Maybe on the higher time frame we have another fair value gap. Okay. Untested. So is this relevant? It is less relevant than when it is tested. So if you were really sharp and saw that we didn't test the 2 minute, which takes the upper hand of a 1 minute fair value gap, of course, your highest time frame fair value gap is the one that is valid. In this case you didn't use it. So if you were sharp enough, you can look for a different entry. What could be interesting? This whole zone can be interesting. Because if you were still bearish and wanted to take out more liquidity from the lows, you were gonna reject this and trade lower. If you're gonna trade above this, you can use it as support to then trade towards the highs. Let's see if there was a bullish gap in combination with the breaker. Definitely. Yeah, then you could put your entry right here on the bullish gap in combination with your breaker. Hold liquidity right here. Then you could do something like this. Yeah, first TP. There you have a nice TP over here. And of course, you can run it all the way towards Asia throughout the day. But you want to take partials as part of your risk management. So your first TP would be at 2 risk reward, which is perfect for a trade. So I would look at something like this. And otherwise, top of the breaker block. Stop loss right here. Then you would have put your trade break even right here. First take profit, and then you could leave some runners open towards highs if you wanted to be safe. Yeah, in combination with the bearish gap right here. Yeah, you could do something like that. Did you see a different entry gauge? You're the scalp master, so sometimes you see some different things I don't see. So But I think I would have been front ran here. Yeah, and otherwise you should have put in a market order because you already used this for value gap, but it is London and most of the times you can put in a limit order on London. It is discussable because when you use this for value gap like this and if market makers have filled up orders, there can be a reason you're not gonna test back gaps. But in London you often see that it is gonna get tested back. But in this case, which I must say, is your RR to your first target is still fine even though you would have marketed. So that is a thing I want to add. Yeah, definitely. You could just put in a market order here to be safe. It's not far away from your value gap. That is the thing I missed. It is not far away from your value gap, so then a market order would also be fine right here. Alright, now I covered everything. Let's see if ES is following. It's close. If we manage to take a long somewhere at old all-time highs or whatever, and we want to trade into price discovery, I've put some levels in the chart. Lol can send the message with explanation. Oh. YouTube blocked it. Oh, maybe I can see it somewhere. No, I can't also see it. Alright. But was it about the market entry? I know you're a bit more aggressive with market entries than I would be, but that's where you know it's value. Yeah, absolutely. If YouTube is gonna block your explanation, then absolutely. Okay, I will look at Discord. I can just spit it out and then we're gonna get a shadow ban because we are spitting too much knowledge. That's also why the streams haven't been pushed in the algorithm the last few times. Just a bit too much value in here. Yes, I had a different one. Really locally drawing in buyers, trading above the high, then taking it out and inversing a gap. What do you mean you had a different one? Different than this or? Inversing a gap, yeah. Really locally. There's the chart. Oh my. This part. Getting in the buys right here, trading above this high. Then all the people that started buying here. Ah, yeah, okay. Yeah, I see it now. Okay, this is next level. This is eagle eye stuff. That is why Trader Cage teached me this game. Yeah, of course you had your buys in here, but right here is pretty much the same game. Once again, you trade above a high, locally as well, getting in buyers. All the people that are gonna start buying in this move, put their stop losses below here. You take them out. From there you inverse a gap, and then this would have been a nice limit entry, but yeah. First target, also nice. Second target, beautiful. Yeah, okay. That's the one. Also valid. But I think this one is a bit cleaner because, yeah, I don't know. With the untested gap and everything. But if you got a front run here and never got an entry on the breaker, then this would have been fine as well. It's just a continuation on your expected order flow. Yeah, absolutely. All right. New York is about to open. Quickly, before New York opens, let's look at Bitcoin. Local range filled. No confirmations. Front run of this supply though. Oh yeah, that sounds okay. Locally front run your supply, okay. Pretty much your last hold here. We swept it. So if you want to go up 1 hour time frame, of course, you will have to go from here. And otherwise, we can maybe look towards here. Because what is left? Pretty much nothing. No demands. Liquidity, that is next. So this is your last hold on Bitcoin right now. You had one deviation, but you front ran your extreme supply. Otherwise, this would have been a nice short towards the downside. Small deviation. If price would have tapped into here, local break towards the downside, then you had confirmations to go towards the range low. This is already more bearish than bullish, of course. Try to use this nice demand that was left behind. Explained it in the stream of yesterday, last place. Yeah, I'm gonna look at that cage in a second. This was the last point of price where sellers tried to push price down before we started trading above these highs. They fail. Market makers buys take over. You're gonna get a nice structure supply to demand right here. You can see after taking out this liquidity, buyers tried to push up, but when you got in a zone of resistance, you came down. And right now we close below this zone, and you can use it as supply to trade lower. Also already a bit more bearish than bullish. Trick from Cage. Every time we made a higher high is above 1.3. Let's look. Nice breaker, yeah, definitely. This is below. This is also below the 1.3, so not really. It's all within your 1.3 line. Could we see this as a local range though? Because you stayed within your 1.3. Would you draw this in as a range because you're more advanced at crypto trading than I am? Is this a range you would watch, Cage? With the deviations right here, then your technical target would be this low? Yes, that's a range. Okay, yeah. Great. Do we have third tab? Yeah, this isn't your tab, then this will be your tab. And this is your range. Unfortunate, you could have got a really nice local entry here if price tapped into it. Of course, you could use this last structure pull towards the downside as well. Let's zoom in if there was. Last place where buyers try to push price up locally, you fill, tap into the demand. From this demand you got into this local supply. Or you already used it right here, and that makes it less interesting. Front run of this supply. This could have be a limit every day of the week, of course. With your third tap, you can just preset something like this and at least target right here and run us towards here. And otherwise a level like this, old lows, old liquidity lows. Also fine, of course. Right now you're at the 0.5 of your range. Most of the times is a no trade zone. But because your expected order flow is down, in combination with your breaker, this is also a nice zone. Let me draw in a line, not put in the whole thing. Of course you're gonna get in a lot of bulls from people that think this demand will hold and bring us higher. They fill, last place where the buyers try to take over, push price up. Not gonna happen. Sellers take the upper hand and then you're gonna leave behind a nice supply within your breaker. So could be an interesting zone to maybe get into a local short to continue your trend down. Something I would watch definitely. Right now I wouldn't touch it. You're just in your impulse towards the downside. So you should already have been positioned right here. Ethereum into the demand I drew in. We did form a range, but never got a indication with the market maker model at the top that we could trade lower. I already said this step into the supply in combination with this range wasn't the nicest. Then you would have had something on Bitcoin where still the supply was left open and you create a range just before the supply. Then it's gonna get way more interesting because then you have a higher time frame resistance zone in combination with creating a higher time frame pivot point to trade lower. Right now we are in the demand that can bring us higher and continue our higher time frame trend. Of course we put in a really nice bottom right here, broke structure towards the upside. What do we expect? Higher highs and higher lows. Market had to fuel up because it came into supply just before strong liquidity right there. And this will be a place where you can watch local ranges to be formed. Right now, not the cleanest. We are leaving behind some nice trend liquidity locally. I'll trade crypto 993. Hey Smith, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. Trade a gauge daily range, if any. I think there is one, but that is gonna be one where you want to look for shorts when you deviate the high once more. This is your high time frame range. Locally, this is a range, of course, yes. But this is a high time frame range to watch. If you have any spot bags on Ethereum, you'll have to watch out if we're gonna deviate the high once more at Ethereum and also get a local range with the distribution going, then you can sell your whole positions. But this is your daily range. And of course you have this one. Daily supply, yeah, that's where we tapped into. Also, if you look at your structure, this also would be your extreme supply of the range. Could be a third tap, yeah, sure. In combination with this range, good call by the way, I'll trade crypto. If this is enough and market makers are selling their positions with this local range within this range, we can get a distribution going here as well. Extreme supply or liquidity or a third tap, and then continue pushing down. From there, confirm the market makers have sold their positions and can push price down. But locally right now you expect a bit more upside before we can short the Ethereum to zero. Off top. Let me get rid of this, otherwise it's gonna get distracting. The technical target of these market maker lows right here was hit, so trading K, yeah, that's how we like to call it. On Nasdaq it was a regular phrase we pulled, just like Cheyenne. Oh, okay, New York. Tapped it to. I didn't draw this in, but I already spotted it. Supply order block, how you want to call it. From here, resistance and can go lower. Look for liquidity, or just fake in, get in sellers to target all-time highs. So let's see what's gonna happen here. Oh dear lady, calm yourselves. I'm calm, man. Having fun analyzing Nasdaq, some crypto, whatever. Gage, do you have a stock for me? Let's quickly look at Baba. Still pumping up. In some resistance right here. Refined zone and a bigger zone. This is your refined supply. Let's see if you can get a reaction from that to continue our high time frame trend. If you want to draw in a big zone, you can draw it from this high, but I'm not gonna do that right now because it isn't relevant. This is what is relevant right now. Yeah, so maybe on Baba you can get some resistance. Take out the liquidity of this high and come down. This is still a really interesting zone to watch. Let's see if Google is already rejecting. No, of course not. Google is still mooning. Just waiting for a rejection somewhere. It was at the psychological level right here, but which I talked about in a couple of streams ago, 250. Really nice psychological level where price could have rejected from. There we go. Can still do, of course, but right now is just continuing its up move. McDonald's Nice distribution going on. Trading towards the downside. PLTR, pumping, pumping, pumping. Chris Heuvel, yo, what's up? Oh my, oh my, oh my. Is Chris Heuvel in the Discord cage, or did you just invite him to come watch this stream? Glad to have you here, by the way, but getting a call. Give me a second. What's up, Rory? Welcome again at the stream. We edit, we definitely edit. We are pumping out some content, live streams, videos, shorts, whatever. Blasting it, trying to grow out the community a bit. Have a interesting chart request for me. Always nice to analyze the things you sent me. Tested back a nice zone on PLTR. Bit of struggle before really breaking out and continuing your move. Always great to test this back, put in a higher low for new higher highs, taking out some local liquidity. Then push back up again. I'm already done for the day on Nasdaq, but you can have a look at it. Clear buys in my opinion. Okay, interesting. You traded along at this bottom, I guess. I talked about it at the beginning of the stream. Couple of places where you could have entered. Sono le 18:27, guardo il mio computer. Dovrei andare a lavorare ma non ho uno scooter. Giro in bici senza casco, piove, freni consumati. Buco una ruota, ci sono giorni troppo sfortunati. Yeah, your buys is still up until proven otherwise on Nasdaq. I can recap what I saw today for Rory right now. Nice swing low, or how Rory likes to call it, a power of 3. Where you can look for an entry in your third candle within this beautiful 1 hour value gap, indicating we can enter a market maker buy model. First technical target of that buy model would have been this Asia high. Perfectly got hit, and we have a nice continuation right now. I don't know where you entered, Rawi, but I myself looked at this. Locally, after you got your break towards the upside, of course you're gonna get in a lot of buyers right here. Those early buyers are gonna get wrecked, take them out. Made a nice bearish for value gap, tested it, tried to make new lows. You fill. When you inverse it, you could put in a market order or a limit order. But most of the times, when you have a nice manipulation move like that, you can look for a market entry if your risk reward is nice. Well, to your first target, risk reward was beautiful. Next target, great average risk reward to be taken. 691 was my entry. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's in combination with this old high. Gage talked about the different play right here. If you are really sharp, you can understand it right here. Getting buyers because you trade above this high, and locally you trade above high, so you're getting in buyers. Where do they have their stop losses? Below here. You could have entered this bearish for value gap, or you can enter on top of some old highs, breaker block, however you like to call it, and start trading higher from here. I think you did something like that, Rawi, or not? Yeah, and great risk to reward to get realized right here. Entering a gap as well, right? I don't know. I don't know what Rawi did. Oh, whoops. Bit lower. There. But this overall was a really nice zone, of course. In combination with this breaker block you have over here. Flipping your 5-minute order block. Overall a really nice place to look for longs. Yes, also on a gap, okay. Random song in the playlist. Let me get rid of it. Only a really tight stop, even tighter. Okay. Yeah, you can put it right there. That's how I know my boy, yeah. Well, if it's valid, then it's valid, of course. You can do it. Realize a bit more risk reward for yourself. Small little treats. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, that was my trade. 5-minute order block. Yeah. I'm hearing you talk about that a lot more in your streams the last couple of times. Nice. Great trade. I just uploaded a video on Amazon, so let's look at that. Talked about the supply. Can be an interesting place to look for the short. I also said, because it isn't the cleanest break, it is just a candle. Yeah, you have a candle open and close right there, but after that you came up again. Doesn't have to mean it is a bad break. This is just a place where I would look for local entries to continue your move down, because looks like we are distributing. If we don't get any confirmations here, we can still trade higher, make a third tap, and from there look towards the downside. Just so easy, brother. In combination with the power of 3, yeah, you don't have to make it make it any more difficult than it already is. If you see a low be formed like this in a good macro as well, of course, and holding a PD array like that, yeah, then they have to be sharp right here. Definitely. Great way to end the week. Amazon looks like it wants to creep towards this this supply zone. Nvidia we also expect new all-time highs. Nice bottom put in here. Great zones. Nice higher low in here. But now you expect to continue the trend. Rawi, do you have a chart request for me? Other than Nasdaq? Or a Cage, whoever is in the stream, crypto, doesn't matter. If anyone has a request, I will look at it. Good luck streaming, mate. Need to do some birthday preparations. Good luck with that. Thank you for taking some time in your day and tuning in here. Gold, nice support from this demand zone. Taking out liquidity, not breaking below anything. Respecting your high time frame market structure. You can expect new highs. What is locally happening? Ooh, getting in a lot of buys right here. Nice manipulation move. From there continuing your trend. Support on the levels where you want to hold support. Didn't have enough liquidity to take out this high, indicating we needed more from the lows. Took out your extreme liquidity. And continued your move from there. Not really an entry though. Aggressive move up. Supply zone to watch. Can be a nice zone to flip and use to trade towards new all-time highs, because this was the last place. Also a nice liquidity hunt in there that brought you towards a low, so this is absolutely gonna be a strong supply, and anything can happen in there, so really nice place to watch or to break and then watch it. Already live for over 40 minutes, okay. Doesn't feel like that, but alright. Close to all-time highs already. Equals? No, we made new all-time highs. Barely. One tick all-time high. Flip this supply. Probably are gonna use this in combination with this fair value cap and all these old liquidity highs to continue your move. Strongest way to continue your trend. How was oil today? Aye, good call. Looked at that yesterday as well. Sideways, just chilling. Not really anything interesting. Small pennant up, as you can see. Still patient. Let's see if there's a stock we can analyze for a nice video. Hard to be a better stock than Amazon. Amazon is just beautiful. So, amazing. Crazy. What does Cage think of this? This is a nice chart. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Oh wow. Is it? Yeah, indeed. Yeah, this is this is crazy, man. And the percentages as well. Oh, it's crazy, crazy. And still a lot more to take out. With a bottom like this, this isn't enough. And of course, oops. If we're gonna break structure right here, you just expect your trend to continue. But this was a nice one. I think I charted this back in the day when we were live stream daily as well, or just after that. I don't know. But just continuation plays like these are also crazy because yes, you took out all your extreme supply, but you still expect your technical target to be taken out with a bottom like this. And you leave behind this demand just before starting to take out liquidity on the highs. Again, a last place where sellers try to push price down in a big supply block just before your liquidity, but they fill. This is just gonna become really nice structured demand. Also aggressively continuing your uptrend using old highs. And from there, when you tap into it, just look locally. What is gonna happen right here? 1 hour was also fine. You can see this is the last structure pull that brought you towards new lows, where you're gonna break above this. Your expected order flow is becoming bullish again. You leave behind a really nice demand right here that you can use. Yeah, you can just enter a continuation right here. Keep trading on a momentum, like Cage says. Absolutely. Also, not a coincidence, it's at your 0.5 and just overall a beautiful level. So, yeah, no brainer in my opinion. Still pretty nice percentages, I guess. Yeah. And of course, you can leave runners all the way towards liquidity right here, so then it's gonna get crazy as well. Let's see if you can create new highs from this. You can almost take a trade on a fair value gap like this. Well, I say it like a joke, but it isn't a joke. Beautiful trade in my opinion. Just a continuation play. Nice step into it. If you're not gonna take out this low, you can expect new highs. On a nice level I pointed out. Combination with this higher time frame breaker. Yeah, let me prepare for this. That's unfortunate. It's fine though. Live trade in the making right here. is a market entry interesting? Ooh. Sure. Keep on trading momentum. We said it about Riot, but this is also keep on trading momentum. Continuation towards new all-time highs. Until where is a market entry interesting? Right here. Okay, let's keep that in mind. Put it at 6. Depends on how the market is gonna close here. Otherwise, it's just a limit. Have to close above this wick, otherwise it isn't interesting. Okay. Damn. The market is edging. I would like to see a close above here, so then I'm just gonna put in a limit order and pray that I'm gonna get filled. Oh my. Okay. I want a clear gain right here. Don't want a small gain below those wicks, because most of the times, in my experience, it's gonna be a fake break to sweep liquidity once more. I really want to see a clear break of this gap right now. Got a few stop losses because of a thing like that before, so not gonna happen again. Always be ready, New York can put in a weird candle all of a sudden. Okay, there we go.
Order submitted. Order filled. Order filled.
Live trade, that has been a long time. Let's put in a sell limit right here. Happy to close the full position right there. Psychological level, almost 3 risk to reward. So let's see.
Order submitted.
There he goes. Well done, brother. Yeah, we have to take some trades, and if it's a stop loss, it's a stop loss. Momentum. Want to play the probability. This is the zone where I want to see a a retest of, and if we can continue from here, yeah, then I want to see continuation from here. If we don't, because we made some sort of equal at the all-time high, or just a one tick hunt, yeah, then we can go lower, sure. Then it's my stop loss, and we look for a different play then. This isn't a valid low, so if we're not gonna take out this high, you can still take out this low, but expected order flows is higher lows for higher highs. So then I'm just gonna put it below here. Also protected by a fair value gap, so wait and see. Well, that isn't nice to see. I did a check ES by the way. Oh, oops. Okay. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. That is a big SMT. Also locally not the cleanest. That changes things a
Order
bit.
filled. Order cancelled.
That's a big loss as well because my stop loss size was bigger than I normally will have. Yeah. Normally my stop loss is 250. This is $50 more. Yeah. I shouldn't have taken this trade if I look at the ES. That is not the smartest move, but alright. Oh, let's revenge trade this for value gap. Took out some buyers. Took out me. Yeah, I talked about SMTs also being a magnet for the market. So of course ES is behind, but that can also mean that ES wants to come up and take it out eventually. So I have to journal this trade. Also nice, holding a 5-minute gap. Sure, you can continue from here. I'm not the guy that is gonna enter a trade 2 minutes after he takes a stop loss, but this maybe should have been what you waited for. So manipulation right here from dumb early buyers, and I continue to move. But yeah, should be careful. Let's see if this plays out. And otherwise we're gonna need more liquidity from the lows. Let's see what S&P did. If this is a reason to go up. Pretty much the same as NQ. Also a nice manipulation move right here. Maybe what I should have waited for, because this low of course wasn't confirmed. But yeah. Is there another thing to look at? Tesla. Tesla eating from the highs. Can be a range. Doesn't have to get respected. Let's see. What can this range do? Trade towards the lows a bit. Bounce at a nice level. Something like this. Some structure that you left behind. Combination with an old high you broke. You can maybe fuel up to continue the move there. Can be a possible scenario on Tesla. But it can also just rip through because it's really bullish what we are doing. So let's quickly look if NQ is pumping right now. That was a quick one indeed, part of the game. Yeah, definitely. Should have looked at the S, then I would have known I should be careful. Because this is a really big difference. High time frame and locally as well. So that is just yeah, just bad by me. Then you deserve a stop loss, right? Then you know better. All fun and games that you are in a nice zone and are holding support at a place where you want to look for support. But yeah, with SMTs like that, locally, right here, and higher time frame with your all-time high, then you just have to be careful and wait for some more confirmations than just an inverse and holding something you want to hold. Then you should wait for some local manipulation to continue up, or local structure that brought you down to break above, but not the case. Well, eat the stop loss. Oops. Lesson learned, good self-analysis. Yeah, definitely. Got a bit too hyped early. And I thought, alright, we're in the live stream. Let's take this trade live. Let's go. Fuck it. But yeah. Just had to take a bit more time. I was analyzing different things. Just came back to Nasdaq and put in my limit info and never looked at the chart again. So yeah. But okay. Happens sometimes. Human mistakes, we call them. Fortunately, proves that I'm not a robot. Yeah, what can you look at right now? Of course, you want to continue the trend up, but when you have SMTs like this, it can also mean we're gonna need more liquidity from the lows. Um, yeah, it isn't a nice sweep of the high. So is this your high low? Oh, what is this song? Wow. Discussable because it is the nice break of your high. So I personally would say no. So what can you do? You can come down all the way here and still tap into that 4-hour level I pointed out. Of course, sure. or locally take out liquidity and move up from there, or maybe this is gonna be enough because a lot of people are gonna start buying here, and there's a lot of liquidity collected here, so you can tap into this 1 hour and come up from here. That can be next zones to watch. So yeah, that is what changed right now. Nasdaq can change so quickly. Half an hour ago you were bullish and up until proven otherwise, and when you get SMTs like this, locally high time frame and everything, you can get bearish pretty quickly. But this definitely is your first zone to watch. Never tested it back, and it is a really great PD array that brought you lower, and after that when you gained it, never tested it back, so it can be a place where the market wants to look for support and continue the trend. I think I'm also gonna end the stream here. We're an hour away. Trader Cage is also saying I need to come in Discord, so I'm just gonna end the stream and we'll see you guys tomorrow. No, tomorrow is Saturday, so I'm not online then. I will see you in the next stream, maybe Sunday. I have some free time on Sunday. No, I don't really have free time. Well, we'll see. Otherwise, next week, Monday. Thank you for tuning in, watching me take a stop loss live. Also a nice thing to be a part of course. And then I will see you again later. Ciao, ciao.